Covering more information about recent layoffs at IBM in Columbia. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joey Parker.
And I'm Marissa Holloway. In a special report last month, employees told ABC 17's Jillian Fertig the company was laying off people and replacing them with foreign workers. We also told you some of the state tax incentives were suspended because the company only employed 453 people of the promised 800.
In a story you'll only see on ABC 17 News, our Jillian Fertig obtained the packet that was handed to employees the day they found out they were losing their jobs. She joins us now live with details of what's in those documents. Jillian?
Well, Joey, this folder has 33 pages of what is called the Resource Action Information Package for employees. I'm told all employees who were laid off received this folder the day they were told, and there are some questionable statements in here that I tried to clarify with IBM, but a spokesman tells me they have no comment. Employees say it was handed to them in a manila folder. A 33-page packet and a memo informing them they had been, quote, identified for permanent layoff. A packet I got my hands on. In part 2 of the information packet, it says an identified employee who receives an offer of a comparable job will not receive the payments and benefits of the resource action regardless of whether the employee accepts the comparable job. I asked IBM why this is part of the policy, but
it's IBM proprietary information.
In part 3 of the packet, the company states identified employees may be required to accept a temporary position to another location to assist with the transition of work until their scheduled departure date in order to receive the resource action payment and benefits. It says if they don't, they will be terminated with no pay or benefits. Another section says if they leave before the departure date determined by management, they will get no pay or benefits.
I'm not going to comment on any, internal documents or rumor or speculation.
I just wanted to call and get your comment on it is all.
Yeah, I understand what you're doing your job and I'm doing mine.
Since my first story aired on May 11th, some city council members have questioned why IBM is not being transparent with employment numbers and other information city leaders say taxpayers have a right to know. One of those is 3rd Ward Councilman Carl Scala.
We've asked the state for numbers, and the state tells us that when they get the numbers, they release some of these numbers to us, but there really is no recourse to either challenge any of these numbers or get into them further.
According to the State Department of Economic Development, 453 people work here. But when I counted the cars in the lot on a Monday afternoon a few weeks ago, there were only 164 cars. So I counted again today. It's 3:30 on a Wednesday afternoon, and for the second time, I counted the number of cars in the parking lot. This time, the total was 160, which is still far below the 453 employees that IBM says it has working at this facility. Scala says he feels the council was misled about some things back when this was first brought to the council for approval, as far as who all was involved in the IBM project and the money incentives.
I objected to the idea that frankly, Reddy and the city manager at that time apparently didn't even trust the city council to hold this information as confidential.
Scala tells me he is skeptical about the employment numbers.
I'm sure there are some employees on that list that don't even live in Columbia. I just have no way to verify that, and that's the nature of the beast when you're dealing with the kinds of contracts and provisions that were kept confidential that lots of us were not privy to. And frankly, should have been.
Scala says he will continue to have talks about IBM with the city council, but says right now the next step is unclear.
I mean, in retrospect, I'm not sure what it is, short of some sort of a legal action against IBM, and like I said, I'm not sure there is an appetite for that. Going forward, we can enhance the process so that we do have a better handle on the transparency of the contract negotiations.
Sources say there will be even fewer cars in this lot by the end of the month because more layoffs are in the works. Reporting live in Columbia tonight, Jillian Fertig, ABC 17 News.
We'll continue to follow up with the city, state, and IBM to see what's next and if any action is taken.